this country is at war with Germany.
We had to do a job, and we did the job, and that was it.
The men had to go and fight, and the women had to take their place.
Soldiers, sailors, and airmen of the Allied Expeditionary Force, you are about to embark upon the Great Crusade.
And we are recording.
Hey,
That's it. We are live for our first ever episode. So, hello and welcome everybody to Foxhole Chat, our very first episode. And it's going to be a nice and simple one today, just a get to know your host. So, I'm Katie.
And I'm Josh.
So, Josh, how are you? Good week?
I'm good. Yeah, it's been okay. Work's busy because I work in healthcare, so classic time of year, everyone's sick. But yeah, still trying to enjoy war things outside of work. You know, currently reading about the Canadian Air Force and their involvement in the war, which is really good. But yeah, it's been an okay week. What about you?
Yeah, it's not been too bad. Been busy. I work in retail, so this time of year is absolute carnage. I haven't read anything for a little while, just because of work's been busy and I've come home and just gone, nah. Ended up just sitting watching a telly all evening, to be honest.
Yeah.
So, yeah, quiet week, to be fair. Apart from doing a bit of research for the podcast that we've now started.
Yes, yeah. I find sometimes when I get back from work, I totally understand that sometimes you just want to sit and vegetate.
Yeah.
You know, and because I don't know about you, when I read, I've said it in my own videos where you want to read and you want to digest the information. You know, you don't
It
just
won't
want
go
to.
in.
Yeah, exactly. I hate when that happens. You're like, why can't I remember these facts? This is important.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm the same. What got you into history? How did you get into history?
Well, I think like many people, you kind of start off in school, and I chose it for my GCSEs as one of my options. And we did it was a mix of World War One and World War Two. From what I can remember, it was a long time ago now, and I'm getting old. And so it's always kind of been there. And then I remember Band of Brothers kind of being on at my parents' house. And I never fully watched it, obviously, because this was when I was, 11, 12, so it wasn't really suitable for for a kid that age. But I remember seeing bits of the Bastogne episode. And then later in life, I joined a brass band. So we would obviously do Remembrance Sunday every year, in different villages. So I was always involved in that. And then also with the brass band, we did a trip to Belgium as well.
Praise on me again. We were doing so well. I missed that bit. Yeah, the deepest, darkest Wales.
Did you freeze or did
Wales
I freeze?
internet. Yeah, I think you froze.
No.
Something froze.
Oh no.
So you were on your way to Belgium. Yeah, already.
Yes, yeah.
Doing well. So yeah, you were on your way to Belgium with the brass band.
Yes, so the brass band I was in, we took a trip to Belgium. Was very lucky to play in the last post ceremony that they have there. So history's always kind of been there in one way or another. My grandparent, or my granddad, sorry, he worked for Rolls-Royce and then later BAE. And I have a distinct memory of there being a Spitfire painting on the wall in their hallway at my grandparents' house. And I distinctly remember when anyone asks you when you're younger, oh, what do you want to do when you grow up? And I would always say, I'm going to fly Spitfires. Genuinely, hand on heart, I'm not making that up. And then quickly realized as I got older, well, that doesn't happen anymore. And so anyway, so it's always been there. And then I would probably say the past like year. I couldn't even tell you. Like my dad has asked me, where's this kind of obsession come from? Because I kind of went from 0 to 100. It's just really been this past year of like reading more and getting into We Have Ways, and like rewatching Band of Brothers, and going back and watching all the films, and watching more modern ones like Fury and Dunkirk. And then eventually taking my first trip to Normandy, which was amazing, and we're going to cover that on the podcast because I had a very interesting time, I
Eventful.
think.
Yes, it was
Eventful, sorry,
eventful, wasn't
yes.
it?
That's the best word, yes. So yeah, to cut a long story short, it's always kind of been there, the affliction, um, as James Holland and Almori say. And then yeah, this past year it's really because I love it. I love everything to do with it. What about you? Did you have a similar story or?
No, I didn't. I didn't do it at school. So I
Oh,
didn't
okay.
take it. Didn't take it for GCSE. The teacher was a bit too boring.
Yeah, that's fair.
And they weren't doing the bits of history I was interested in. So World War
Mm,
Two, World War One, basically. So I didn't take it at school. I think mine stemmed from my parents.
okay.
So we regularly go to Normandy. I think we've been to every big anniversary. They used to go before they had me, and then obviously I came along.
Wow. Yeah.
So we've done, pretty sure we've done every big anniversary, and then we try to go because they're every 5 years. We try to go at least once in between as well.
Hmm.
So that's always been around. I mean, we've always been to air shows and events. It's kind of just come from that really. Just parents never did it at school. Didn't do obviously if didn't do it at school. So didn't do it at college. Never went to university for anything at all. So
Mm.
obviously didn't do it at uni. So yeah, it's parents, grandparents. I used to do a lot of ancient Egyptian stuff with my grandma.
Oh
Don't know
wow. Okay.
how or why that just sort of
Okay.
became our thing. Dad's always been
Mm.
interested in the war side of stuff. So yeah, it's just come from parents really, and then it's just sort of escalated as the years have gone on. And the last 5 years, it was when COVID kicked off. So I worked all through COVID. So it
Same.
was going to work, coming home, going to bed, doing it all again. And it's like
Yeah.
I need something to do. I
Yeah.
need something to switch off.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I can't remember what triggered it. It might have been what because there was no the college wasn't on or anything.
Mm.
So all the young lads fresh from school came for a job. So
Okay.
working retail, local supermarket, one man and his dog appears when they need a job.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
all the young lads appeared, and I think it was the 75th anniversary of VE Day.
Yes. Yeah. Will have been. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Yeah, so 2020, and one of the last lads asked what VE Day was.
Oh dear Lord.
Yes, exactly. That was my reaction. So I thought, oh, that we're not having that. We're not having the
No.
young
No.
generation forget and
No.
not know what things are. So it kind of just stemmed from there, really, just starting to share history so it doesn't get forgotten because it clearly was. I mean, admittedly, he possibly wasn't the brightest spark and was a bit of a troublemaker, so probably didn't pay that much attention at school anyway.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, no, it still doesn't stand well for the younger generation. So yeah, it just sort of escalated from that really. And here we are having a podcast.
Yeah. Yeah. It's crazy. I think like everyone, it's crazy how everyone will have a different relationship with history, and whether that be different time periods. I mean, obviously, me and you were very war based, but some people are super into like the Victorian era or Industrial Revolution or something like more power to them. But I think you kind of find your own niche and you fall into your own sort of category and where you feel most at home.
Yeah,
And then I think even within like our subject of the wars, you then kind of fall into, your particular, what's the word I'm looking for? Like branch. Like I'm big on the RAF and aircraft and that sort of thing.
yeah.
Um, but I
So
know
more of
other people,
a specialist subject.
yeah, kind of, yeah, because then there's some people who love tanks and, obviously you with your reenacting and war correspondence. Yeah, actually, because people may not know that. Actually, yeah, why don't you tell people what you do in relation to that.
Yeah, so obviously alongside the podcast that we're doing, I do YouTube and I also do 1940s reenacting. So I do a war correspondent, a US war correspondent. So that's just basic US uniforms. They don't need any weapons or weaponry or anything. So that side I don't need to worry about, or the legal side of owning a deactivated weapon, because that gets very complicated very quickly.
I can imagine. Yep.
Yeah. So it's just an old camera. I've got a Jeep, 1943 Ford GPW.
That's so cool. That's so cool.
It's the best thing ever. It cost me an absolute fortune,
Yeah.
but it's great.
You only live once after all, and you can't take it with you, so you might as well enjoy it while you're
Exactly.
here.
I'm not planning on selling it anytime soon, so that will be mine until the day I die,
Nice,
as far as I'm
nice.
concerned.
I have images of you like you're in your 70s and you're still driving it, like you pop to the shop for
Yeah,
milk.
too right.
That would
Yeah,
be that's amazing.
definitely that's the plan.
Yeah.
That's the plan.
Yeah.
So yeah, war correspondence, they're basic. I do civilian. Basic all civilian war correspondents were given the rank of captain in a
Okay.
military uniform, so if they were captured, they weren't shot as spies.
Oh, okay. I did not know
Yep, so there's today's bit of useless information. So yeah,
that.
there was a military branch as well. So you had the signals for the Americans, and then it was the Army Photographic and unit for the Brits.
Hmm.
So they were military, so they were in full uniform, and you
Mm,
had your privates, corporals, majors, working your way up in that as well. So
yeah.
it's a wide range. So I did photography at college, so it stemmed from that really, just carrying on the photography side of things.
Yeah.
So that's good fun. Apart from when it's wet and cold,
Yeah.
that
I,
gets very miserable very quickly then.
yeah. But I mean, authenticity though, right? I mean, war wasn't fought in the height. Well, for the all of it wasn't fought in the height of summer. There's many soldiers in foxholes feeling the same thing. Um,
Yeah, that's very true, but I do draw the line at sitting in a muddy puddle in a random field in
yeah,
Leicestershire
yeah,
on my weekends or my days
yeah.
off. But apart
I
from
just
that, no,
I
it's
just
fine.
imagine I just imagine you going back into work. Oh, what did you do the weekend? I just sat in a muddy puddle. That's what I did.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, you do
Yeah.
it for the love. You do it for the love of the game, not the paycheck,
Yes,
as the
exactly.
saying goes.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely do it for the love of it. It costs us all enough to
Yeah,
do it, so we're not gonna not have fun while we do it
no,
and
I-
everything.
yeah. I think that's a part of because I had it. God, April maybe. I want to say April of this year. Um, so I've been doing it a lot less than you have. I think you've been
You're freezing on me again.
going for.
Uh,
Oh, there we go. I was saying about YouTube. Yeah,
okay.
so I
Yeah,
started
yeah.
mine in April, and I found like the weather, like I've said in some of my videos, the weather always has a vote, because you have an idea. I'm big if I want to go places and show people things, like with my tour of remembrance, can't get my words out, going to the war memorials, kind of a bit like what you were saying before about that young lad not knowing what the E-Day was. Um, so anyway, the Store of Remembrance that I do is going out and researching them and just highlighting them because we walk and drive past them every single day in a lot of villages around the country. And I think they're just kind of there, and they obviously they get attention on Remembrance Sunday, but apart from that, they're just kind of there. So going outside and highlighting them is something that I enjoy. But again, like you're saying, the weather, it is annoying because you're like, oh, it's not a dry day, it's raining. I had this video planned, and now I've got to try and come up with something else. Like
Yeah.
I would still go out in the rain and do it, but it's more like, well, I don't want my phone to get damaged. I don't want my. So I think, yeah, the elements is something we've got to battle sometimes
Yes.
in the world of history, I guess, isn't it?
Certainly is. So you're saying your specialist topics are RAF? How did that come
Yeah, for
about?
sure. Oh, good question. I think, like I said before, my granddad, having that painting of the Spitfire and working for Rolls-Royce and then BAE. So I think it started from there really. And I remember having like a blow-up Red Arrows plane as well. I wish I still had it. And I would do airfix with my granddad as well. I wish I still had them. I don't, unfortunately. Um, so I think it's always been there, and because of that, I've always had Spitfires in my head. Um, and it's the classic, very romantic idea of Spitfires and the sound and the shape. Um, and I've always said, like I said before, I would tell people, oh, I'm going to fly Spitfires when I'm older. That's still on my list. That is a goal. I am saving because it's incredibly expensive.
Yeah,
Um, I've worked out. I think I'm going to need, or I want, at least £5,000 um, to do like a decent flight in one, because you don't want to just go up and then straight
go
back
up
down
and
again.
no,
No,
no.
like, that would still be amazing, but I want it to be a bit longer. So if anyone wants to donate to my Spitfire fund, I'm joking. I'm joking. Don't do that. Don't do that. Pay your bills and give it to charity instead. I'll just keep working hard. Um, so yeah, it's kind of always been there. And then as I got older and I've started reading about the topic, yeah, just kind of naturally gravitated more towards. I mean, I'm looking over at my chest of drawers here, and I've got a Spitfire Airfix that I built, a model of a Mustang, and then another Airfix, like the quick build
Yeah,
Lego
yeah,
kind of ones, the Airfix too.
yeah.
I got a Spitfire one of them as well. Um, and it's not just the fighters as well; it's the bombers as well. So I love the Lancaster bomber. Um, and I'm sounding very British biased, but I do also like American planes as well. Like I'm watching Masters of the Air, which is a great series. I didn't know much about them, so watching that series was really good. Seeing the B-17s, and then reading the book. The book's very, very different, as it always is, to a TV show or a film. It's a very dense book. Um, it's a good book. I'd recommend it. It gets a bit monotonous towards the end. Very, very
They,
drawn out.
yeah, they used two books, didn't they, for Masters of the Air?
Oh, is
So
it
they used
two?
Masters of the Air by who was it? Remind
Uh,
me.
I can see it now. Donald L. Miller. I'm looking at my
Yes, that's the one.
bookcase. Yeah.
Yeah, so they used that one, and then they used Crosby's book. That's why
Of course.
he was narrating the series. So I think it's
Right.
a Wing and a Prayer.
Oh, okay. Okay. I've not read that one. I've not read that one. I'll have to put it on the list.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
on my list. I've not got around to reading it yet, but yeah, I think they based it predominantly off those two books.
Yeah. Yeah.
If I remember right, anyway.
That sounds about right, yeah. And now that I know that, like thinking back to the series, it's quite a good mix because obviously it kind of focuses on Buck Levin and John Egan, and that's kind of. I was expecting them to be more in the book. There's a little bit about them in the book, but because he's trying to cover the entirety of the
All of it.
100th,
Yeah.
so it'd be pretty boring just to focus on their time and forget about what the 100th was doing while they were in the camp. But anyway, that's a big digress. So yes, I love everything planes, British, American, fighter, bomber. That's my obsession. What would you say is yours? Is yours like strictly war correspondent, or are you more like vehicles?
No, so I've only just got into the war correspondence because of reenacting. So I decided I want to do reenacting. It's like, well, I need to decide what to reenact.
Hmm,
So that's where the war correspondent bit came from.
right.
I think mine would be probably Normandy because we
Hmm,
go so often.
yeah,
So I know the sites pretty well.
yeah,
And I quite like the vehicle side of things. So the
yeah,
tanks, the trucks, the jeeps, and even the planes as well. Because we go to air shows fairly regularly.
yeah.
and everything as well. So yeah, that's probably about it. Just looking at the various pictures and stuff I've got up in my room, it's predominantly planes and tanks and Normandy stuff. So yeah,
Yeah,
there you go. Planes, tanks, and Normandy stuff.
that's a good
I think,
mix.
yeah, that's
That's a
where
good
my
mix.
interests lie.
I just
Uh,
thought of a question for you actually. Bit of a broader arching because I know we kind of spoke about a bit of a jokey goal that we had with the podcast.
yes.
But what's your like would you say your motivation behind you starting your Instagram and your YouTube? Is it to do with that story of that young lad? You don't want the stories and the history to get forgotten. Would you say that's your motivation behind doing it?
I think so, yeah. So yeah, making sure it's not doesn't get forgotten. Um, and I also don't like working in retail, but don't tell anyone. So if I can make history my
I
job
want,
somewhere along the line, then that would be great.
yeah,
But yeah, I think that's what kickstarted it, and that's the main aim. Is make sure people don't forget, share the obscure stories and keeping the Jeep going and alive and everything. I think. What's yours? What would you? Why did you?
um, I would say the same. Like I get very emotional. I'm a big crier, and I get very. I'm your classic old man of I hate loud music. I hate the young people, and I cry about the war. Um, so I get very emotional about the stories and what they went through, and the kind of tagline for my channel was I called it History Echoes or Echoes from the Past, um, and I wanted to bring the lessons from the wars to the present day because I really think we can apply them um, to kind of overarching bigger problems in the world. Not to get political or anything like that, but I think the lessons that happened then we can definitely learn if people paid attention. We could make the world a better place. And I think in your day-to-day life as well, I really truly believe that you can take those lessons. For example, I'm a big believer in if you're upset about something and you're worried about something, you have every right to be. Life can be rubbish sometimes, but I tend to try and put it in perspective and think when I'm reading about things in the war, I'm like, well, at least I didn't go through that, or actually my life isn't that bad because it's a bit like when I was doing my walk, the 80-mile walk that I did. Um, yeah, there was days where it was raining and I was tired, but at the end of it, I got to go home to a nice warm house and I could have a cup of tea, and there was food on the table. I didn't have to worry about anything like that. Whereas, the soldiers in the war, they'd have to walk all these miles and then it'd be sitting in a muddy puddle,
Yeah.
eating K rations, and having very little sleep. Um,
Anything to add about how history is important and how we got into it?
Um, oh God. I'm trying to wrap my head around stories now. Any stories that I've got from the past? Um, I think I don't know about you. I don't know if you agree with this, but I think a lot of the time history gets overlooked. Um, maybe I think we get caught up in the day-to-day life, and I think I don't know about you, if you agree with this, but sometimes reading about history and it offers you an escape, I think,
Mm.
and especially kind of the more detailed books. If you get super into the detail, um, even reading or playing games, if you're strategy games or first person shooters or something like that, like it's just that escapism, and you're in that world for an hour or whatever. Um, so I think a lot of people sometimes think, oh, history is really boring, it's for old people, but there's so much to it. It's not just about uh, as I was joking before, being teary-eyed about the war. Um, there's so much to it. Like you got into reenacting through it, and it's the creative side as well of coming up with ideas and researching. Um, so I think it's history is the overarching thing, but I think there's so many like categories inside it that you can find your niche and you can find a group of people that you can be friends with. I mean, me and you, we didn't know each other at all before, you know, um, you know, meeting each other on
Yeah,
Instagram.
like 6 months ago, we didn't know each other,
Yeah,
basically.
yeah,
Didn't
yeah.
we really?
No, we didn't. No. And maybe we should talk about it, actually, because I was talking to my mum about it because my mum, bless her, she's so she doesn't work. She's got rheumatoid arthritis, bless her. So she, potters about. She keeps herself busy. And as the great mum that she is, she always supports me and anything that I do. So I told because she's kind of into it as well. Because when we went to Belgium with the brass band, I was only a teenager, so obviously parents had to come. So my mum
Yeah.
came with us, um, and so she, this is, and mum, I know you probably listen to this. I know the minute you figure out how to comment, you're going to embarrass me, and that's your job, and that's fine. But yeah. So anyway, I was talking to my mum about because she obviously we'd put the posts out about starting this podcast. And I was talking to her about it. Friends of, I think I put a picture up of me. It was when I went camping with my girlfriend and our friends, and I put a picture up of I was reading Victory 45 at the time. I think you commented saying like, "Oh, I'm reading it too. Like, it's a really good book." Uh, we just kind of got talking from there. It was like, "Oh, where are you up to in the book?" Like, "Oh, what did you think of this bit?"
Yeah.
And it just kind of went from there, really, didn't it? We just kind of
Yeah,
started
yeah.
talking about our lives in history, and yeah, which was really nice because I think I don't know about you, but a lot of the time when you're on the internet, and you see people interacting with you, um, obviously it being the internet, um, and it's I don't know about you, but you find when people do interact with you, you kind of um, it depends who it is. Like you're wondering, are these people legit or is it,
Yeah.
you know, um, it can be dicey sometimes, but it's really
Yeah.
nice. What I'm trying to get is it's really nice when you get those nice comments and you get people saying, I love what you do. It's really interesting, keep it up. Um, and even though it does sound weird to say, oh, I've got friends that I made online, but
Mm.
it does happen. I think this is proof of it.
Yeah.
I would
Yeah, yeah.
I would I would class maybe a guy that we both probably watch and follow, John from World War II Wayfinder.
Yeah.
I class him as kind of like a loose friend because I've asked him for advice in the past. Um, so it's nice when you start a hobby like this and then you end up finding similar people who are afflicted by things that happened 80 years ago.
Yeah. Fellow history nerds.
Yes, absolutely. The merrier, I say.
Yes, exactly. So that leads on into how the podcast come about. So if I remember right, you messaged me with a video idea one day. You said, I've got
Yes.
this idea about a Q&A between us and it could become a regular thing.
Yeah.
At which point I went, well, I've had this idea about doing a podcast for a couple of years, but I don't want to do it on my own because I thought it'd be better to have somebody to bounce off.
Mm,
And then within a week, we'd got a name, a logo, the social set up, and had announced it
yeah.
that we were doing it,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and a few ideas about topics as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that was all very quick and very sudden, but it seems to be working so far.
I think so. Yeah, it did kind of. Yeah, because I thought, uh, because I'd been just making videos by myself, obviously for a bit, um, and then you think like I sometimes I do talk to my girlfriend about history sometimes, but it's
Yeah,
over her head. Like when I said I wanted to go to Normandy because she was in cadets, she did army cadets when she was a teenager. So she's been to Normandy and a few other places. And her line when I said that I wanted to, and she didn't mean this in a mean way. This is very much my girlfriend to a T. She went, "My love, there's nothing there," as in Normandy, there's nothing there.
oh
Um,
no.
yeah, she doesn't mean that in a bad way or anything like that. That's classic.
Yeah, yeah,
My girlfriend to a T. Um, and like when you think about it, like when you go to Utah Beach or Omaha Beach or any of the beaches, Like it is just the beach, but it's more about if you understand the history and what happened there, and just the feeling that you get from being there. So anyway, I digress again. Yeah, I tried to talk to my girlfriend about history, and I do talk to my mum occasionally, but it's never the same when I talk to people who I work with about like Formula One, and other things like that. It's just nice because you're like, oh, you like that thing too. Oh, great.
Yeah,
Well, I'm going to tell you everything that I know. And what do you think?
yeah,
So it's really, really nice to be able to share your passion with someone. I'm guessing you agree with that.
yeah. I'm the same. So none of my friends are into history quite to the extent I am. So I can bore them with various dates and facts and names and stuff, and they're just like, yeah, okay, whatever. So it's nice to nerd out with people about the same thing. So I know that feeling far too
Yeah.
well.
Yeah. It's funny you should say about nerding out, actually. I've just remembered something. So I don't know, we have ways, they have the Patreon.
Yeah.
Are you
Yes.
subscribed to it?
Yeah. Yeah.
So they've got the chat on the app, and like
Yes.
people message and stuff. So like I put a message about my walk. So I was raising money for Robo Station, so I thought this is the perfect place. I even put something like if it's not allowed, because it's money and it's donations. I was like,
Yeah.
take it down. I didn't know what the rules were, so I thought, oh, this might. I don't know if anyone did donate, but nobody reacted to the message, so I was a bit like, oh, okay. But then I was on Twitter and I found like somebody had mocked up like a modern day Bren gun. And
Okay.
it looked really cool. Um, and I put it in the chat and I was like, oh, what do we think? Like, surely it's got to be better than the SA-80, which is the rifle the British Army still use to this day. And I kind of loosely knew that rifle, because it's classic modern British military, of course, it's going to be rubbish, because we're awful now. Anyway, so yeah, I thought, oh, what do we think of the modern brand? Like, surely it's got to be better than the SA-80. And then the replies to it, I'll go back and I'll screenshot and I'll send it you. Like the level of nerd, because it was like people who'd actually like you. They're talking about like, oh, I used it in this conflict, and I thought it was better than the BR-3562, and the magazine was in a different position. I was like,
Yeah.
this. I was just trying to make a little funny joke, and like people were like going so deep into it, and I was like, I've uncovered something here that I didn't
You've
want to get
touched a
into.
nerve. You've
I
touched a
must have
nerve.
done. I must have done, and then I was like, it kept going for a few days,
Yeah.
just and people were occasionally replying. I was like, wow, like I get nerdy about some things, battles and planes and dates and stuff, but like this was another level. I was shocked. It was crazy. It's crazy, yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, it's good to find a fellow group of nerds
Yeah,
on
yeah,
things that you can bond over.
absolutely, absolutely, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, the plan for the podcast. What are we doing? So it's
So go
gonna be
on.
weekly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we decided it's gonna be weekly, so you get to listen or watch us every single week at Tuesday at 12 p.m. All being well. So Tuesday lunchtime, there'll be a new episode out every week. So if you want to watch us, you can find us on YouTube. If you just want to listen to us and don't want to see our beautiful faces, you can find us on Spotify and Apple as well. We weren't expecting to be on Spotify and Apple quite so early, but it's worked out well. So they will be uploaded to them as well. So it's just going to be a casual chat. This isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, we're not going to be your Al Murray, James Holland, or the rest is history. With Dominic Sandbrook and James's brother Tom. I think we probably have a good level of knowledge, and we can reel off dates. And if we were in a pub quiz, we'd probably do quite well if there was a World War II round.
Yep.
But we wanted it to be kind of laid back and relaxed and easily accessible. And just kind of gentle war waffle in your ears as if you commute to work or if you're doing housework or whatever. Just stick us on, come along for the journey. We're hoping to have some guests on. as well in the future, which would be really good. So other people in the hobby, maybe some authors, hopefully that would be really, really good. And then as we kind of joked before, our kind of long-term goal. Well, I think we should just put it out here.
Yeah,
Episode
go
one,
for it. Yeah,
lay
go
it
for
down.
it. Yeah,
Our goal eventually is to get either or both. I mean, who
everybody,
knows?
all of them.
Yeah, all of them. We want to get James Holland, Al Murray, and of course, can't forget Ben Wilbond, the captain from Ghosts and Horrible Histories, on here to have a war waffle with them. Because I don't know about you, but they're I always kind of knew of Al Murray. Was never like super into his comedy. And then I never really heard of James Holland. And then it was through listening to We Have Ways, I kind of felt, and I don't mean this with any disrespect, but I think James Holland sometimes gets overlooked as a historian. I think a lot of the attention is on like Dan Snow. He's more like mainstream.
Mm.
The BBC tend to wheel him out. Um, every D-Day anniversary or whatever. It's because he's a known face. Um, so yeah, I think that's our eventual goal. That would be amazing. I think we'd have to stop ourselves from fangirling
Yeah, we'd have to have
too
a
much.
20-minute fangirl before we'd actually
Yeah,
get them on and just get it out of our systems before
yeah, for
before
sure.
they come on.
Because I
Yeah.
don't know if I've ever told you this. Or you might have seen it on my Instagram. So when they released Victory 45 earlier this year, they were doing like a book talk.
Yes.
It's about like an hour from where I live. So I was like, well, I'm definitely going to go. It meant I could work, and then I could go straight after work, sort of thing. So I drove there, and it was in like a really intimate theater, like literally. I was there wasn't like assigned seating, so I was like, well, I'm sitting front row, like I'm not sitting at the back, like, are you crazy? So I was really, really close to them, and it was amazing. And it was weird. I have this thing where when I don't know if you've ever had it, where you see people from film or TV in real life, you're like, oh, you're actually there. You're not on my screen.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you're 3D. Anyway, so they did the talk, and it was meant to be for like an hour, and they spoke for like 40 minutes. And then they were like, "Oh, we've got some time for a Q&A." And at this point, my heart's going 10 to the dozen because I'm like, I've got to ask them the question. I have to talk to them. Um, and I did. Like, I could feel myself. I was like vibrating, and because I was like, these guys are like full on historians, and I kind of look up to them as role models. And I remember asking them, what did I ask? I said something along the lines of kind of what I was saying before about, people get lost in the day to day, and do you think we can learn from the past, and do you think people can apply it to their everyday, and do you think it often gets overlooked? And I did fangirl a bit at the start. I said, thank you for doing what you're doing, and keeping history alive. Um, and yeah, so I have kind of, and then I joked with my girlfriend, like every time if I watch like the podcast now that because they do a video version, um I joke with them. I'm like, oh, it's my mates. Yeah, I met them. I've talked to them. Oh, it's my mate
Yeah.
Al and Jim.
Nice.
First, for the record, if there's any police listening, I don't stalk them. I'm not a stalker. I promise.
Yep, neither of us are.
Yeah,
Just putting that out there.
yeah,
Yeah, just to clarify that.
yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
so episodes are going to be as long as they need to be. So if it's going to be 20 minutes long because we've got not a lot to say, then it will be 20 minutes long. If we've got a lot to say, we might be here all day. So we are on Instagram at Foxhole Chat. It will pop up on the screen, or it'll be in various links and descriptions, and it's all one word, Foxhole Chat. There'll be extra content on Instagram. So our plan, if you're listening and not watching, we're going to put some photo packs onto Instagram. So any image, footage, any maps, or anything that we're talking about in that episode will be in this photo pack. So you'll be able to follow along with what we're on about, really.
Yeah, I think that's a really good idea. Like when you said that to me when we had our little pre-podcast meeting, even after I came off, I was like, that's a really, really good idea. Because when we were talking, it's good if people see it before they know that an episode's out. They can go, oh, okay, so that's what they're going to talk about. So I'll give it a listen. And we're hoping that's kind of something a bit interactive for you guys. And even if you watch it and then you want to go back to it, it's there, and then you can do further research if you really want to, if you want to dig into it even more, and do it that way, because we want more people afflicted by this thing, the more the merrier, like I said before. So yeah, I think that's a really good idea and something I'm really excited about.
Yep, should be good. We're also going to put on anything we can't fit into the episodes. So any extra research that just doesn't come up in conversation or anything else, and then other random stuff we find interesting will be shared with you guys. It's basically anything and everything, really.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. So yeah, because we might do, if there's things that didn't make it in, facts or whatever, or cool pictures, then we'll put that on the Instagram as kind of like you say, little bonus content. So and this is all free. You know, so you're gonna get I was gonna say get your money's worth, but yeah,
You're
you're
going to get
not
your
really.
money's worth because it's free.
Exactly, yeah. It's FREE. Times are tough nowadays, and we're giving you free war waffle. So take it
Yeah,
while you can.
what's not to like?
Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
There it is. Jim would be proud. Jim would be
Uh,
proud.
so we're going to cover pretty much everything on the podcast as well, aren't we? So movies, TV shows, video games, books, museums, battlefields, militaria, personal stories, reenactment events,
Yeah,
absolutely everything, aren't we?
yeah, yeah. And obviously now we're in winter, so it's going to be probably more research based this time of year. But then I think once the better weather um, kicks in. Because if you're listening outside the UK, obviously the UK is very, very rainy and very cold nowadays, and all the warbirds and the tanks, they all go away and sleep. It's going to be my first full year of being in the hobby, really. So I get to go all to the summer events, hopefully. I'm hoping to get to an air show at least, and hopefully, fingers crossed, we have Ways Fest because I got really, really bad FOMO this year. I was joking with you, wasn't I? That I was doing the
Yeah.
dishes and
Yeah, so there's plenty of events we can cover, and any World War II topic. So we've got Battle of Britain, Invasion of Sicily, Pearl Harbor, Burma, the whole lot. So if you've got any ideas, do let us know. Drop us a message on Instagram or in the comments, anywhere will do. Anything you
yeah,
want us to cover, sure we
yeah.
can
Or if
squeeze it in
you
somewhere along the line.
Absolutely. Or if you're a fellow war waffler and you want to come on, just drop us a message, either on the Foxhole Chat page or our own separate pages as well, because they'll be linked and they'll be about. Um, yeah, we are open for business, as they say. Anyone
Yep,
is
we
welcome.
certainly are. There might also be the odd live stream as well. We mentioned that, didn't we?
We did, yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, maybe even we were talking maybe a watch along or something, or um, if we, because I know you play Hell Let Loose on your
Yes.
channel sometimes, don't you? So I've never
Yeah.
played that, but it has piqued my interest. I see it every now and again, and I know it's more. I was going to say, is that kind of right? From what I've seen, it seems a bit more like hardcore, I would say.
Yeah, so you've got your first person shooters, so like Battlefield and Call of Duty. That's just run and gun sort of thing. But yeah, Hell Let Loose is a lot more um tactile and strategic. So what do you play on?
So I've got an Xbox. I've got my laptop that I kind of play a few strategy games on. But it's mainly Xbox. Yeah.
So I do PS5.
Oh,
So
okay.
PS5 and Xbox can actually play together.
Yeah, it's the beauty of crossplay nowadays, isn't it? Yeah.
Yes.
Not like
So
not like when I was a kid
I
and you had
don't
to
know.
choose one.
Yeah, pick one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I could give you a Hell Let Loose lesson one day. Not that I'm any good at it, but
Oh, that'd be really good actually. Yeah, we could if that could be a live stream, that'd be quite a funny one to see me not know.
try try and play Hell Let Loose.
Yeah, God. I mean, I do. So when I was younger, I played a lot of Halo, and I got the new Battlefield actually, which I do enjoy playing. But as your classic adult, you get home from work and you just kind of sit and look at your console because you're too tired, to actually play it. Um, so I have noticed, uh, maybe as I've gotten older, I've gotten worse at
Mm,
games. Maybe because I don't play them as much.
yeah,
I don't know. So that yeah, that could be a fun one. For sure. Yeah, yeah,
yeah, definitely. The live streams will just be for the audience interaction as well, getting feedback from you guys, any questions you want. We can have an evening looking through archival footage of photos
Ooh, yeah, yeah. That'd be cool.
or anything.
Yeah,
So there's plenty to keep us going for a very, 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 very long time.
there is, there is.
I think that's all I've got on my list. Anything you want to add?
Not that I can think of. I think we've pretty much. I think that's been a good. And that's been a good first episode. We've kind of covered our background, and I'm sure as we go along, more stories. We'll remember stories from our
Yeah.
interactions with history, and yeah. So I hope everyone's enjoyed getting to know us a little bit and enjoyed the first episode. Yeah, really, really excited to carry this on, and obviously we've all got our own separate channels as well. So if you want to go check them out, we do kind of similar stuff but different stuff at the same time, don't we? I think yeah, we're a good mix, I think.
Yeah, well, I think that's us signing off for the first episode. So thank you everybody for watching, listening, subscribing. Don't forget to do that, by the way.
Yes, yes, absolutely. It's free after all. It's
Yep,
free.
as we've said. So any ideas you want, just let us know. Drop us in the comments. Drop us a message. Anything will do. So that's us signing off for the first ever episode of Foxhole Chats. So thank you all for watching and listening, and we'll see you all next week.
See you next week.